Okay, today we are talking about debt. That's the title for this course. And we're going to start off by telling you that when you see somebody who has all the trappings of wealth, all the things that, like the fancy car, or the latest designer items or clothes, the latest iPhone, the big house, those things don't make you wealthy. In fact, most people, when I see them having these things, I see people who've created a lot of debt or maybe an inability to save. I see foolish financial decisions. People who have even kind of trapped themselves with spending too much money. Because by gratifying their most immediate needs, the things that they want right then and there, they've kind of allowed themselves to borrow to their absolute maximum, and they've created like a shiny jail that they're inside of. And it's a crappy jail because that jail is going down in value. The items that they're purchasing aren't increasing in value, they're going down. And proof of this is that America, for like the median income, is like 4th in the world, but it's only 22nd in overall wealth. And what that means is that we have plenty of money coming in, but we're blowing it on dumb crap. And again, you may remember from our last course, income is not wealth, right? Income is what you make on a yearly basis, and wealth is what you have left over. So they're just spending it on a bunch of dumb stuff. And part of the reason this is because debt has been, unfortunately here in America, it's been normalized. It's okay to have debt. It's totally fine to just go ahead and get something and have a bunch of payments that go on for years. Even though it completely drags everybody down, and it drags down just your happiness in life. So when you look at people who have all the nice stuff, maybe instead of looking at them with envy or something like that, look at them with pity for buying at their debt limit, and the fact that if they can't get out of the habit of doing that, they're never going to have any kind of financial freedom. Because if they can't control their spending, they're never going to be free. They're going to be stuck. So you might look at me and say, okay, Dad, you're a hypocrite, because look at the house that we're in right now. You have a nice car, big house, and you travel a lot, right? So that doesn't seem to make sense, doesn't really jive with what we're talking about. So I'm not saying you can't have nice things. That's not at all what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is you should not purchase these nice things until they are, one, a fraction of the amount of money that you're making, a very small amount. And two, because of that, they're not impeding your saving and your investment goals, those goals you have to save for a long time. And you actually have the time to enjoy them because you're not working your butt off. So if you absolutely must have the biggest house and the nicest car and all those things, well then great. You have to go back to what we talked about in previous courses, which you need to go grow a business that scales and creates the kind of explosive income you need to be able to afford those things. All right, so yeah, you can have them, but you gotta make sure you've got the money for it. And know too that happiness isn't the toys that you have, isn't the things, the fun stuff that you have. It's things like relationships and the freedom to do what you want to do with your time. That's where people really derive happiness from. So if you live financially sound and you free up your time, you end up living with a whole lot less stress, surrounded with trying to keep and maintain these things. And you'll be able to enjoy those things that are enjoyable, like those activities and those relationships we're talking about. So no amount of extra income is going to save you from stress and from overwork if you can't manage to live financially wise. So let's remind ourselves of the real goal here, which is it's not things, it's time. And I've mentioned time a few times before. It's time to be able to enjoy the things that you've purchased, because what's the point of going off and getting the nicest house that you can possibly afford, right at the very limit of your ability to afford it, if you spend all your waking hours at work and never in that nice house, or spending time with people in the nice house, just grinding away. Again, because that real time enjoyment comes with time spent with family and friends and creating memories. If you buy all the fancy stuff at the limit of your spending, you're going to have to end up paying for it in a different way, which is more time at work, more stress, things like that. So spend less on those items, free up your finances, and you'll find that you have a lot more of that precious commodity that you can't create more of, which is time. Eliminate your stress, a ton of stress, by not living right at the very limits of your credit. It'll make your daily life a ton happier too.